here. Now, I've just put in the chat, but just so you know, I look awful as well. Tell you, shed some light in the situation. So if it makes me look a bit better, probably not. I've just been sick for some strange reason. So if I shoot off in the middle of this live stream, I do apologise. I don't know why. Hopefully I'll be able to go through it and without dying on you guys. So obviously I have been away on holiday recently, so I've not done any videos. So I thought I'd do a live update. So yet again, I'm not going to get a chance to do a live do a video for this weekend. Even though I've had this week off, I've been fairly busy sorting stuff out. Yeah, it's good to be back, to be fair. I will be bringing out some videos going forward. I know I haven't done an update on like my leaf cutters forever, but you guys should be able to see them today if you wish. Don't forget, as always, put up what species you want me to talk what species you want me to show you, and I'll talk through what's going on with them. I have done something slightly different with my leaf cutter ants, not my leaf cutter ants, my honeypot ants, because I'm still waiting for the setup from Ant Boy UK for that one. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, loads of people have reached out to me about suggestions to make for my leaf cutters, and I've taken some of that on board, but I'll show you what I did with them today to see if I can try and turn it around, because if you remember in my last live stream or video I did with them, I think it was the video I did, I had about 4 workers. I've now got 3 workers left, so they're slowly but surely dying off. So yeah, I'll get onto that in a bit. So I've got an update on my honeypots as well. Got all my ants, you know what it's like. I've got loads of ants to talk about because I've still got quite a few. I've still got quite a few in hibernation at the moment. The temperature's at 7 degrees, need to turn it up slightly. So yeah, so I'll just crack on. Unless you guys have got anything you want me to talk about first, and let me just clear this off my computer because for some strange reason iCloud won't leave me alone. Go away, iCloud. There you go. So yeah, so by all means, guys, put a comment if you want to, what you want to see. I do look terrible today, jeez. Oh. Yeah, so put a comment down and I'll talk through some bits and bobs. Yeah, so Ants HQ is 30% off sale at the moment. It might buy something. Yeah, oh, that's a good point actually. Ants HQ reached out to me when I was on holiday last week about doing a collab with him. So hopefully I'll get some more information about that one. I think he's looking to give me some ants and one of his new nests for it as well. So keep an eye out for that because that will be coming soon. I've also, EA sent me a couple of nests as well, so I'll talk about those in a bit as well. So you can guys have a quick look at the EA nests. I think they don't get released for sale until the 1st of February, I think I noticed today. Yeah, again, unfortunately, I don't have the time to do a review on them because obviously I like to look at nests. I like to give my points of view on nests. And I don't really like doing reviews anymore until I've tested them actually on some ants to see how they're getting on. So, sorry guys, my throat's a bit funny because obviously I've been sick just about 10 minutes ago. So I'll pull it, in fact I'll do it now. Right, so, EA has sent me a couple of his nests. Now, I've not had the chance, I took delivery of these. I took delivery of these just before I went on holiday, so I've not had anything to do with them. He sent me 3 nests. And I tell you what, this is one, and that might be ideal for my honeypots. What do you guys reckon? Leave a comment, tell me what you think. I mean, it's a big chamber, they can hang from the roof. I can easily unscrew the front if I need to move them on, but short-term measure, that might work for the honeypots. Yeah, but yeah, so this is the smaller one that he's given me anyway. Like I said, it's a big chamber, honeypots, I'm thinking of that one. I've just moved them into a test tube, but I'll talk about the honeypots in a bit. But yeah, that might work. So, first impressions, yeah, really like it. The 3D printing, his 3D printing's come on leaps and bounds. Since when he first started doing nests and stuff like that, it's come on well loads. And I've got this medium-sized one. Now, I was talking to him about this when he was looking at sending me it. It's got the hydration port there, that's what that is. Well, it comes out as well. And look, you've got a little entrance into there, but he's also put a mesh there to stop any ants getting in. That's a good idea, I like that. Stu, what was his comments? I remember he sending photos of the nest of Acushi, said he could help with you with the pots. Yeah, that's cool. would say it's better you've got for them now. Yeah, definitely. As soon as I've talked about these, I'll move on to my honeypots so you can see what I've done with them. Because I only did it today. But the only thing with this, I'm going to have to put substrate in it if I use this, because they need substrate to weave their pupae apparently. So yeah, but anyway, I was talking to EA about these, and I was looking at moving my Carabera into them, but we'll go on to my Carabera in a bit, because obviously I only recently attached a quite a large nest to them, and because I've been away for a week, they didn't get fed, so their egg production hasn't increased as normal. So yeah, I will get on to, but yeah, I'll talk about that in a bit when I talk about my Caraberas. But yeah, so you've got this from a Carabera. Now the great thing about these is you can switch that around. You can have it lying down, or you can move it around to be vertical. And at the moment, I'm really struggling for space, so doing it vertically like that's really going to help me. And he sent me this, which is comparative size. I think it's like double the size. So, and yet again, that can sit up as well. I think he got me some stands as well to put them on so they don't fall over. But it's the same gig with these as well. Hydration, 2 ports, which is good, and I'll be able to sit up against the wall. First impressions, and I say this, first impressions, these look all right actually. I do think these products will come on leaps and bounds, and I think for a moisture-loving species, the white tongue may do it. But what I am going to do, before I even think about sticking anything in here that does like high humidity, I'm going to stick a humidity probe in there and see if it retains the moisture. It's a fairly sealed unit, so I imagine it might actually, but the Carabera are really sensitive to humidity. So if it goes too dry, then they'll die out. And the only concern I've got is the only humidifier down here. I'm just wondering if up top here is going to be humid enough for them, because it's, like I said, it's quite a large nest. But first impressions, EA, I like them. I do like them a lot. And honeypots, screaming honeypots. I didn't even notice this when I first opened them up before I went on holiday. I literally just thought, oh, they look better. Quality's a lot better than what the last lot I got from EA a couple of years ago. So yeah, looking forward to honeypots. Definitely honeypots. Yeah, my noders do need a new nest because their population's dramatically dropped off, but I can get them down and talk about them, because I've actually spoke to them about it even in the live stream for a long while. So I'll tell you what's going on with my noders as well. But I'll put these nests aside for now, because I am obviously, if you take it for, you get the, I don't know. At the moment, I'm kind of holding off for any kind of new ants at the moment. Now, obviously, Ants HQ's asked for a collab, and he's going to be sending me some ants, so I am going to accept stuff like that. But at the moment, I'm kind of holding off getting any more ants. I've already got a lot of fast-growing species, such as my meat ants, my Carabera, and the likes of them. So rather than going and getting any more ants that may potentially grow fairly quickly, I'm going to hold out on that for the moment. But let's move straight on to my honeypot ants. Now, as always, I'm going to apologise. I don't have the money to buy a fancy pants camera, which I will do eventually, but at the moment I can't afford that. So you're going to have to put up with the 720p streaming that I get off my iPad, and then you can obviously like tell me how terrible I am afterwards. But let me get the honeypots, so wait out. Ooh. Now this has changed a little bit since you guys last seen them, because if you remember, they were just in the pods, and I was desperately waiting for the nest for my from Ant Boy UK, which still hasn't arrived. So I think needs must, and I may use the easy one. Let me switch the camera around. Ooh. So this is a setup now. I got told that a lot of the Americans, where the species comes from, they use test tubes for these guys, and they're quite happy to find in the test tubes. So I, this morning, I dropped the pod in, put it on its side. I'm not sure if I can zoom in a little bit. No, it's pretty pants. See if I can get around. There we go. Can I focus in? Yeah, they've got a nice pile of brood there that they've not moved out. Now, if you can see, I've only got 3 workers left. I had 9 pupae, went down to 4 when I noticed that they crashed, and I lost another one over the past week. So I'm kind of thinking that I really need to do something about them. They do look really pretty. She has got a lot of larvae, which is really cool. But they've moved some substrate in there as well. Now, the reason why I've put substrate in this, because I don't normally, is, and I've also put it in the test tube, as you can see, is because, like I said before, the pupae need it. The pupae need the substrate to be able to weave their cocoons or their pupae. So that's why I have put them in this setup. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I really do need to get them in there. To be fair, anti-enclosures, yeah. I agree. I'm going to agree with you. I didn't even notice I had that for some strange reason. I think it's because I only got it just before I went on holiday and I was rushing around, so I didn't get time to look. And this week I've been fairly busy. So I'm going to see how they get on. At the moment, they're just staying in the tub. So I'm probably going to, I'm not going to force them to move out or anything like that. I'm just going to leave them be and see if they move of their own accord. But it may be a great opportunity, to be fair, to actually disconnect the test tube, connect up that EA nest and see if they'll move into it. I'll have to check the humidity levels, see what they like. But it's ideal for them, really. Oh. I literally got it a couple of days, the day before I went on holiday, I think it was. How long have we been waiting for I originally ordered the nest from Amboy UK, I think it was the start of November. So we're talking 3 months down the line and I still haven't got it. There's been a number of circumstances or whatever with Amboy UK. It's just a bit frustrating. They are a notoriously difficult species to keep in the UK. Their failure rate's quite high, and unfortunately, not having an appropriate nest set up for them has probably not helped me or aided me with me keeping them either. And bear in mind, this is my second attempt at them as well, so it is what it is, isn't it? So, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm not feeling too well. So yeah, at the moment, that's the situation with the honeypots. No, he's not sent it yet. He's not sent the nests yet, unfortunately. It does make sense to use the EA nest, and I'm probably going to look at that tomorrow. In fact, I won't be looking at it tomorrow because I'm going to get time. Probably look at it Sunday afternoon. If they haven't moved into the test tube, then I'm definitely going to look at moving them into that nest and see how they get on with the EA nest. I'm probably going to humidify it today, so I can have a look at the humidity, see how well it holds on to it for next week, for Sunday, so I can check it in. Because like I said, they were known to me, these nests, so I think they were known to everybody because they didn't release them until February the 1st, so it's a bit of an exclusive actually. Yeah, cool. Let's put the honey pots back. Yeah. As they're on the same shelf, I'm going to go to my Campanotus Discolour or Campanotus Sei. I prefer Seis, to be fair, because I think that's the name that I got these off. Now, believe it or not, these are actually a freebie off of, yeah, me too. I really hope they take to that EA nest as well. Well, the Seis were actually a freebie from Ants HQ as well, believe it or not. If you remember, if you can think back. Now, other than looking at my disgusting chin, this is their setup. I recently moved them into this. Don't ask me what nest this is. It's a Gen 2 Acushi nest. I got no idea. But if we have a quick look inside, you'll see that they're actually doing really, really well. There is bags and bags of pupae there. They've got a nice pile of eggs there. My dog's whinging in the corner. Yeah, so they're doing really well. Really, really well, to be fair. They've really taken off. Considering, if you remember, after the attack of the Solenopsis, these girls really struggled. They had one worker left, and the queen was holding the line at the test tube, stopping the Solenopsis getting in and killing her and the rest of the brood off. So they're really doing well. And they're really good looking ants as well. I love the colours. They're absolutely gorgeous. But they seem to be doing fine in this nest. So I ain't going to tempt fate. Oops. Let's have a look in here. Got a couple of workers in there with a roach. I only put that roach in there this morning. It's black because they're black roaches. It's not because it's all minging. Anyone there this morning. I didn't get to remove most of the. I stopped the Solenopsis attack halfway through. I can't remember the name of the video off the top of my head, but I think if you've not seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. Yeah, they are long gone now. It's definitely worth watching. I think it was the day that they broke me or something like that. But have a look at my Solenopsis playlist. It would be the last video I did of them, because after that I shipped them off to Acushi, and he's had them since then. I'll never get in Solenopsis again, ever. When I say they broke me, I mean literally they broke me. The Solenopsis were just awful. Awful. In fact, I'm going to blame the Solenopsis for my wife leaving me. How about that one? She would have left me anyway. I also got off Acushi, sorry, Ants HQ when I got this Sei was my Camponotus and Sabinas. Now, these are really lovely ladies. Now, these are quite big ants as well, so they are quite slow growing. So the progress, where do you get your tubing? I've been asking for ages. The tubing, you can get it off eBay, mate. If you type in like plastic tubing in eBay, just put the size that you want. I think most people use either, I think it's 10mm diameter tubing. You'll get it there and it'll fit most stuff. But eBay, it's where I get mine from if I need some surplus stuff. Because if you look at mine, I've got tubing all over the place. So do you know what I mean? So yeah. Tubing is great, but if you also go to a couple, I think Acushi sells long tubings as well, so you can definitely go stuff like that. Yeah, because Sid sells it, which is Acushi, so that's where I get all my tubing from. Now, if we have a look at my Sabinas, they're doing all right, to be fair. Yeah, again, these were attacked by a Solenopsis, and they fed them off. They've got a nice little pile of brood there. There's been no fresh eggs recently, but if you look, the water's about gone. So I've attached another test tube today as well. Look at the desk, is dirty. I've attached another test tube today as well, but I don't notice a incredible amount of activity in the outworld with these girls at the moment. So yeah, I mean they're really good looking ants. The queen's just gorgeous, and the workers are just like milky white, kind of milky yellow. But as you can tell by the gases, they're full of food. They're really happy. Sorry, my dog's whinging. So, like I said, they're doing really well as well. Do you want to go out? Give me 2 seconds. Dog, come on, go out. Don't whinge to come back in. Sorry, my dog's permanently attached to my side, so she'll stand at the door and whinge to come in, and when she's in, she's like, oh, but my ex-wife is still in the house, so she's like, oh, she's outside, I want to go out and have a look. So she's a real pain in the bum, but yeah, anyway. So, yeah, my Sabinas are doing really well still. Yeah, there's not much, there's no fresh eggs there or anything like that, but she's doing quite well. At the moment, she's sitting on top of my Nicker-brent setup, just because she gets exposed to the light to give that encouragement to move a little bit. Now, my Nicker-brent, yeah, they've had a massive crash, to be fair. Yeah, again, I'm not overly concerned. I mean, have a look at the numbers. Let me just take the film off while I'm talking. But have a look at their numbers. Now, if you guys have followed the extensive playlist I've got of my Nicker-brents, you'll see that they have been absolutely huge, boomed and stuff like that in numbers, and now they're not so booming in numbers. They kind of go up and down when it comes to their numbers. I think she's quite, the 2 queens I've got in there are quite seasonal. But if you look at it now, I've got loads of space in there. Now, this was actually rammed a little while ago. Not only was this really rammed, I had them in that little outworld at the back, nest at the back as well. So it's been full of rubbish now. I just need to disconnect it. But the outworld was also full of ants. There wasn't too many in there, but what they like to do was, there she goes again. You have in or out, dog. Stop being a pain. If you look just there as well, there is loads on the back of this nest as well, which is a nest in the acrylic. That was full, so they've decreased quite a fair bit in numbers. But yet again, I'm not sure if you can see it with this pants resolution, but the 2 queens are still alive, so I'm just inclined. I mean, there is plenty of brood still there to keep the population going, but they've probably dropped to about 1,000 maybe, if that. I mean, I've still got another outworld up there, so, but yeah, I mean, it looks like it took a massive hammering, but from my experience with this Conlix, I've had it for about 2-3 years now. I don't know how long I've had it for, to be fair, but it's definitely over 2 years. they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down in numbers, and when they go down in numbers, they fill it full of rubbish, like you can see in the corners here of this nest, and I think there's some dead on the top there as well, in the top chamber, but they clear it out as soon as they need the space and move it into the outworld, so it's not ideal, but there's no point moving to a small nest because I have to move into a bigger nest later on, and to tell you the truth, they've been in this nest for a while now. This was actually bought for me from, oh, I can't think of a name to save my life. Naturu actually bought me that that nest, and I'm glad she did because it's really, really good. It's the laptop nest from Acushi, obviously. Put that back. So yeah, that's my situation with Nicker-brent at the moment. It's not ideal. No, I know. I'm absolutely terrible at doing video, connecting new nests up to these because they just escape everywhere. I'm awful. I mean, did you watch my last Carabera Diversal one where I was connected it all up? It went fairly well, and I completely forgot that I didn't put any cotton wool in the other end of the test tube in the nest, so they all just escaped out the end until I realised. I'm just a clown. How are my leaf cutters doing, Owen? Good question, well put. Let me just move some of these foodie bits that I've got. Ooh, move that over there, just so you can get a good look. Let's move my phone holder. Right, yeah, let's go. Hey, not too bad, Pumpkin, how are you? So, leaf cutters. I tell you what, the only biggest dramaticness with my leaf cutters is you see the privet there. The council have come and cut the privet hedge down, so I've got no real decent amount of privet to get for them now. So that's a pain. But I did feed them today, and they've eaten quite a fair bit. Love this outworld setup. I still don't think Akushi's happy with it, so we've still not put it for sale yet. Excuse me, for sale yet. But love it. It works really well as a feeding platform for them. This is full of rubbish. I really need to clean it out, but I'm in no rush. This is normal behaviour, for instance, the rubbish one. And then if you can look there, the fungus is doing really, really well. I don't think I've got a lot of space left for the fungus to grow. So I'm probably going to need to think about... sorry, the reflection of my PC's on it. So I really need to think about, and I'm in the way of the light as well, replacing, getting another tub, another pod off of Acushi. Only issue I've got with that is my finances aren't overly affluent at the moment because I've just come back from holiday. But I haven't done an update on these guys in ages, and I was meaning to do one, but I never got round to it, so just before my holiday. But yeah, they're really, really cool. I love these little structures that they've got, the honeycomb structures. But they kind of get on by themselves. They don't take much care. They don't take much attention. All you need to do is make sure that you give them plenty of fresh leaves fairly regularly, and they just plod on. All they need is leaves. They don't need meat or insects. They don't need anything like that. No carbohydrates. They just literally live off the fungus and off the leaves. So they're really easy to look after. Now, I know I heat these up to my whole room up to 25 degrees so I can, no, I know that I reheat my whole room up to 25 degrees for these girls, so the temperature's always set right for them. And the humidity, I don't even humidify this anymore. I literally, the fungus looks after itself. Once it gets to a certain size, the fungus seems to look after itself. So I don't even humidify it. And I've got my heater attached to a thermostat that turns itself on and off to keep my room at the right temperature. So all I do is stick leaves in there. The only thing I do want to do is make the tubing, this tubing, a lot longer. Not right now though, I can't really do it at the moment, to be fair, because I haven't got the space and I'll be moving at some point in the near future. Hey, that's my dirty keyboard. Yeah, make the tubing a lot longer so I can actually like see them doing the movement as well, carrying the leaves, because that's what I really like seeing with these guys. They are absolutely gorge to watch. It's just interesting to watch. I love watching them cutting as well. I was actually in Morrison's today and I was looking at doing something a bit like what Hollifer's got, where he's got a big like open top kind of like narrow tank is the best way to look at it. So then I can put plants in there and just let them cut the plants as like the wooden nature rather than cutting bits up for them. And then they can go up the tube into their chambers and stuff to use for the to make the fungus garden, as it were, was the word I was looking for. So I'm looking at doing something like that with them, but I can't here. I mean, if you have a look around my room, I've got no space. I've got my PC there. I've got that there. I've got that there. I've just got no space anywhere. So it's just one of them. Until I move house, I'm not likely to be able to do any of that stuff, which is unfortunate. Go away. Which is unfortunate, really. But there you go. Shall we move on to my meat ants, or my Aerodynamics Paresis? Took me so long to get that name right. I'm just terrible at Latin. So it is a bit dirty in here because I did feel a bit poorly halfway through maintaining my ants, and I went to my bedroom and puked. So just bear the mess in mind. Let me take this off. I did ask. Ooh. So here's my meat ants. Fed them this morning. They've already, in fact, they've still got one of the marrow worms in there. The rest have been moved off into the nest now, I think. But they heavily chill out in the outworld, and if you look in the nest, there's just not a lot of space. There's a lot of space in here as well for them. They've got plenty of brood all over the place. Excuse me, all over the place as well. So they're still growing quite nicely. Have they got brood in there? Oh yeah, they've moved a load of brood in chambers here. I think I humidified this recently. I think that's why they've moved the brood back in there. But yeah, so they're still in that nest, not got them out of it yet, and they're still in this nest, and I haven't got them out of it yet. But the queen's in there as well, and she's pumping out a load of eggs. I'm not sure if you can really see. Can I zoom in with this poor quality? Probably not. But she's got a nice little pile of eggs going on there. Now, I do love these guys. I think they're really cool. My issues with them is the ants Canada nest is clearly not good enough for them. They're not happy with it. I really need to look at aerodynamics are clay though. I don't get what that means. Yeah, my aerodynamics are cool. They're really... I've forgot my train of thought now. Yeah, they're not happy in the ants Canada nest, so I really need to look at giving them another nest. And yet again, I've asked Ant Boy UK for one of his acrylic nests, because they do have quite strong jaws. So I'd like to put them in an acrylic nest where it might better suit them than what the Ant Canada one's like. But yeah, I'm only asking for a little nest off Ant Boy UK, and it's taken him 3 months. So asking him for a big acrylic nest, it might take a bit longer. But hey ho, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, I don't mean it like that, but I'd probably say some of the best acrylic nests on the market are the ones that Amboy UK does, but unfortunately it's just not very consistent in your store for supplies, and trying to get them to make stuff for you as well is like trying to get blood out of a stone. But they are some of the best acrylic nests on the market, so it's catch-22. Do I want something that's really good, or do I want something that's rubbish and I can get it straight away? What do you do? Yeah, they would chew through white tongue. That's why I don't bother with it at all. I've heard rumours that they can chew through 3D printed shells as well. My aerodynamics is, so I'm kind of like want to move them out of the 3D printed. This is why I want to go to acrylic, but it is what it is. Do I have a favourite type of species? Yes, by far, the Nicker-brent diversa. I absolutely love them. I think they're brilliant. I'm thinking, don't get Solenopsis. For the love of God, do not get Solenopsis. They are awful. And if you really want a good example of what it's like to keep Solenopsis, you need to check out my video playlist on my Solenopsis, because it was all well and good to start with. It was all hunky-dory. It was all brilliant. But I can safely tell you that they got nightmarish very quickly. And 1 second again, dog keeps kicking the door open. They're nightmarish. Just watch my playlist on the Solenopsis. Watch it from start to finish if you want, and see how easy they were to start with, how confident I was with them. Then one day they're just like, nah, screw this, and they went everywhere. So just don't. Just avoid Solenopsis like the plague. That is all the advice I could possibly give. Hey Dan Young, how you doing, matey? Yes, they do sting, and that's horrible. Yeah, the growth's really, the Carabera growth, not the Carabera, sorry, the Solenopsis growth is really quick, and I know that's quite an attractive feature for people, but they don't stop growing. I grossly underestimate all my ant numbers, as a lot of you guys know, and it is no different. Hey Ants England, it's no different with my Solenopsis. I guesstimated at 50,000, people said 75 plus, so, you know, they just grow quickly and they literally just come out of nowhere and boom, there they are. It's not great, it's not brilliant, and I would avoid them. Now, if you're going to get any of those two species there, who made the comment? Oh, Bear Claw. It is Bear Claw. If you're going to get any of those two species, be it Solenopsis or Carabera, get Carabera. I love them to pieces. And I feel like I'm going to be sick in a minute, so if I run off, bear with me. I'll show you my Carabera now. They're really, really cool. The setup hasn't changed at all or anything like that. It's still pretty much how it was in my last video. So they're still in this one, still there. They've got the tubing going up to this one here. They've used it as rubbish, and they very rarely venture over to this one here, so I haven't used it for anything. I've tried to coax them into that one using food and stuff like that, sweet stuff. I've put water in there. There's a roach in there as well, as you can just see, but they're just not overly interested in going that far, which is fine with me. This one, they've used it as a rubbish, which is fine. And obviously the tubing comes down, if you watch my last video of them, comes around, yep, and we're into these two one. This is my main feeding one anyway at the moment. Ooh, don't be sick again. They're in the little outworld. They're kind of using it as a nest chamber, so I can't get into it anymore because they're all over the top. So I can't apply a barrier, I can't remove it, so it's just staying, I think. But let's have a look at the nests, because I know you guys love this bit. Look at all those monsters. Dog's trying to get in, sorry. Look at all those super majors. There's loads. In fact, she got in. Oh, for God's sake, dog. They've actually got 2 mealworms there as well. They've obviously taken around for the brood. I'm just need to cook this. My dog is doing my shedding. I think she knows I'm poorly and wants to take the mickey, and I'm making you guys dizzy because I'm moving around a lot. I just love these so much. Look at the super major there, just chopping around. I think is the queen in this one. I think the queen's around there somewhere. But there's plenty of brood. There's the other. There's another Mario worm. But yeah, so they're doing cool. In this one, oh, as you can see on this one, there's still bags of space here. So you've got a couple of the majors as well, but there's plenty of space here. There's plenty of space over here, and there's still plenty of space here. So they've got the original nest over here. Let's just move this out of the way. If I can reach. This is a really difficult angle for me. There we go. So got bags of space, and they're not even. I can't even see the bloody lights in the way. Sorry. Here we go. Move out of the way. There we go. So you can see there's plenty of space in that chamber as well. So there's absolutely no point to me connecting those EA nests up yet, but I could connect them up, to be fair, and see if they prefer it over these. But I'm not entirely sure. I might use the EA for something else. There's nothing to be brave about keeping Carabera. They've been fairly good to me so far. This colony's over a year old now, and I've easily got 10,000 workers easily. But loads of super majors, as you can see. Probably got a couple of hundred of them cutting around. Yeah, Daniel, they're one of my favourite species as well, just because they're so polymorphic. I thought that was the queen, but it's just one of the super majors just there. Centre of the screen now. Where is the queen? Looks like she might be around there by that mealworm. Because there's a lot of super major activity around there, so they're probably looking at protecting her. Oh, look, there she is. No, that's a major again. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Look at the size of that thing. It's huge. Yeah, they're really cool. So as you can, you do need a decent sized budget for them. I won't lie. How can I put this while I chat rubbish while I sort out what I've just done? I wonder if I can do that. No, that's gonna make it full. Ah, crumbs. One day I'll get a decent camera for you guys. So yeah, you do need quite a decent budget for them, to be honest, because they do grow quite quickly. Because I keep these at 25 when they recommended it around 27 or the higher 20s, my growth's been significantly slower than what they've been seen to do previously as well. So I've kind of kept control of the growth with the temperature. And that's enabled me to progressively get extra nests. I'd always buy 2 nests with them if you're going to buy a nest for them, because you will, yeah, you can make your own white-ong nest, of course, because I would always have a nest on standby for these guys, just in case, because they tend to grow really, they might catch you by surprise like they did between my last 2 videos, which was only a month. I haven't given them a lot of protein at the moment, so the growth's kind of slowed down a little bit, but they're really taken off. Oh, are you getting yours as well, are you, Ants England? You've just missed me showing my leaf cutters. I'll just for you, because you're watching, I'll just give a quick glimpse of how they're getting on again. But back to the Caraberas. How have I found these? Crumbs, I should say. I did a podcast with Ant Holifer, and I think Auntie Matters was there, and who was the other one? Acushi was there, because we've all kept these. Are definitely worth popping over there. There's loads of useful information to keep these guys, but I've not found them overly difficult to keep at the moment. The outworlds that I've got are really good because they do cross the barrier like it's not there, and they end up on the roof. But as you can see from this one here, it's quite tightly fitted, so they don't actually get out. So yeah, definitely get something like this. I have sealed up all the corners just in case they do a solenopsis again at me and try and get out. I absolutely love them. I think they're brilliant ants, and I would recommend them to anyone that wants to keep them. Just be mindful, they are not a cheap ant. I think they retail with a couple of hundred workers for around 70 quid. And if you keep them at 25, you will find the growth should be fair. What the hell, my beard? You should find that they're fairly manageable to keep as well. You should be able to control their growth rates. Just have a nest on standby for them, otherwise, yeah, you're gonna get caught short with them. The Atta Queen is massive, by the way, but obviously I've not got Attas. Just for you, Ants England, I've already discussed it. I'm going to need to get a new pod soon because they've pretty much filled it top to bottom with fungus at the moment, but I haven't got the money for it, so they're going to have to wait a little while longer, I believe. I've still got them connected to this. I would definitely pester Sid. Once they get to a decent size, when they're going to look at needing this, I'll definitely look at getting this outworld. It makes feeding them so much easier than trying to ram it in there with my big man hands. Struggled with that little pit pod, and they struggled with this as well. So this little outworld here made it a godsend for me. So definitely pester Sid for it. I do know he's not put them to retail yet, so and I think he was still working on it. So just pester him. I did. It worked. Sorry guys, I need a quick drink. So what else have I got? Oh, it's worth noticing about the Carabera as well, is they are quite protein hungry, so you do need to feed them quite a fair bit. But here's a top tip. They're also like seeds as well. So you can complement the diet with a load of seeds and they will literally take it. Don't tell Sid that I said that though, Ants England, he'll just have a go at me. So Caraberas will take seeds, they will take protein, and they will take sugars, and obviously they need water. When it comes to liquid feeders, just don't bother with the Carabera because they just put rubbish all over it. It makes it a nightmare. You're much better off with, let me just quickly show you, with these jelly pots. They don't tend to put a lot of crap on the jelly pots, and when they do put crap on it, they then burrow underneath the crap and still excavate the jelly, so it's nice and fresh. So jelly pots for these species is definitely worth having it. Uh-oh, busted. Acushi just walked in. Damn it. Anything I said about pestering you, Sid, Ants England says it's a lie. I never said to pester you at all. Don't listen to her. She's a heathen. What other ants have we got that you guys are going to want to look? I tell you what I haven't shown for a while, but I'm going to get them down. Now this is going to be a bit of a pain to get them, so just bear with me. I'll tell you what, you guys can look at my meat ants for a sec while I get my Paresis down. Yoink. Right, so here's my Paresis, however which way you pronounce it, my Camponotus. Now these don't feature very much, and they should really feature more. This colony's about 2-3 years old as well. I got them not too long after my. Sorry, I'm gonna be sick again. I got them not too long after I got my Nicker-brent. You can make that out on request. There you go, Ants England. They really struggled to start with, and I've just moved them so they're running around like lunatics. But yeah, they're really doing fine. Let me just put some light on these because you can't really see it here, but look how silky they look. I definitely think that these are a majorly underrated ants. Now they are Camponotus, they are slow growing, they take a while to kick off. There's the queen there in the middle, but they're just they look so silky. I just want to go and stroke one. They're very timid ants to start with, but mine are fairly attacky now, was probably the best way to put it. Yeah, if I disturb the outworld, they've got no inhibitions about attacking me, where before, when I first got them, just run away. I struggled to get them to settle down. I put a punt on them. I think I've got a playlist on these as well. I did a punt on them and put them in this nest that was way too big for them, because I designed this like little queen chamber, is it where I think I called it, in this nest, because this is my nest that I built, designed and built. It's the S5 outworld, so it's the same size as that. That was 2 ants enclosure. I made this nest, and having that little chamber there, because I kind of did an experiment. I didn't think they were going to survive, so I thought, I tell you what, I'll make this ant chamber, the queen chamber, because a lot of people make the mistake when they get new ants, is they put them in a nest that's far too big for them. So I decided to make, if you notice, it raises up, so it's a lot shallower than the other chambers. It's closed off with a narrow entrance compared to the other chambers as well. So it's a bit like a nest within a nest for her. And it worked, to be fair, because they've now boomed. Now, obviously, I never put this into production. I've got a couple of spare ones kicking around still that I've not used. But yeah, I just stopped it. I think I did a review on it, an honest review on it, and then when I was doing my own honest review on it, I remember thinking, do you know what, actually it's not as good as I thought it was, it's quite pants. So I just didn't bother with it anymore. But it worked treat with these, I designed it for the humidity to be just right for them, temperature. You know, I did a review on it, what I did, so you can have a look at my old playlist. I had to move them into this, this outworld, because the other one was the circular outworld that I had from Antboy UK, which my honeypots are in now. The barrier kept on fading, I couldn't get in it, and it was full of rubbish, so I just bit the bullet, sealed it off, moved them all into this, and I can easier, because of the barrier, the nature of this, with the with these big thick walls, I can apply a barrier here now, so I can get in there and clean them out fairly readily. But you can see the slight bit of disturbance and they just get all psychopathic. They're a lot more aggressive than they ever used to be. Such an underrated ant. They're really gorgeous. I would strongly recommend that you get them. They are cheap as chips as well. I think For Paresis, you're only looking for a queen and a couple of workers. You're only looking at about maybe 20 quid, I think, for an exotic ant. So they're fairly cheap. Yeah, well, it was the harshest review on mine, wasn't it? How can I not be harsh on my own product if I review other people's and say it's crap? So I was honest, and I gave honest opinions, but I was overly critical of my own nest. You're right there, Ants England. Yeah, like I said, I can't pronounce your name, Hundi. Check out my video that I did on my nests. You'll find it in my videos going back a while ago, maybe 2 years ago, and you'll see my development process, my thought process behind it, what I was doing, and the thought process behind that nest. It did work. To be fair, yeah, it did work, but like I said, I stopped making them. Whee! Now I can't move this setup because it's too big, and I've only got one set of hands, which are my own. So let's show you what my excuse over for the mess of the room. That's me again. So these are my harvester ants, my Messer Barbarus. Now they're absolutely quiet here. That's all live ants there. It's not. You did miss the honeypots, but I can go through it again for you, Ants England, if I can hold my puke in. They're all alive there. They're not. It's not a dead pile. They literally put all the trash in here for me, which is really easy to clean out. That's the seeds that they've got stored as well. I don't think I'm going to hold this in. So, blackout nest. Yep. They kind of dodge between the two. So you've got the blackout nest that they're in. This is an Ant Boy smart nest, acrylic smart nest. And this is the red one. And as you can see, they're actually rammed in that one. Don't know why. They seem to dot between the two. Sometimes there'll be loads in there, and then there'll sometimes be loads in there. They really do move around quite a fair bit. But time of year and stuff like that, they're not overly... I might have to go in a minute, guys. They're not overly a pain in the arse to keep. They're really easy. The only thing I remember about the messes is just make sure you've got plenty of water for the seeds, because... Right, I might have to go in a minute, guys. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, back to the ants. Really easy to keep. This barrier they keep getting past because they're pains in the bums. But they're not... yeah, I'm on the verge of puking. Yeah, so they're not too bad. They're doing alright. I've lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. I need to sit down. So going to take some water on. Just for those that have joined and don't know, just before the live stream I was sick. I don't know why I was sick. I think something I ate or something. Sorry. Oh, let's go on to my other messes as well. My R&Rs. In fact, I'll just get them down. If you, oops, sorry. Bear with me, guys. These are the most chilled out messes in the world. So let me move them onto it. Background. There you go. Excuse me. They are a couple of hundred. They're in the Saturn nest. No, I didn't drink yesterday. I think it's something I've eaten today. I got a rotisserie chicken from Morrison's. I think it's had a funny turn on me. Yeah, sorry. These guys are doing really well in this setup. The queen's there. She does nothing but sit there staring at the wall. That's her thing. But as you can see, there's plenty of brood there for them. And my numbers are quite steady. I've got a couple of 100 maybe, I guess. But they're doing really well. Right, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to go. I definitely feel like I'm going to be sick in a second. So I'm going to have to cut it short. I will try and catch up with you other ants that I didn't cover. I didn't cover in another live, maybe on Friday, Sunday. So just drop me a message or something like that, and I will definitely make sure I cover those ants and cover it in better detail. I'm gonna have to go because I'm gonna chuck Norris all over the place. Thanks everyone for joining in. I didn't want to let you guys down by being sick and not turning up, so thank you for coming in. I will get some more content out very soon. I'm just super busy at the moment, but lots of love. I'm gonna have to go. Bye. Where's the stop button? Stop.